randomly spawning and throwing people everywhere.
Wait, what? That's a real thing?
That was a real thing.
Yeah.
What expansion was that?
BC when it came out.
Whoa. Oh, is that the same time where like on Blades Edge Arena there was like that fire pits too?
That was Ring of Valor.
That was Ring of Valor.
Yeah.
No, I thought BC had fire pits.
You're done.
On the sides.
You're done. Just
no,
stop,
please.
David. You're too young for this.
I played at BC. I just sucked.
Alright, well, let's see how well Rositajonez and Khryl stack up against driftkingz and Unafraid. driftkingz and Unafraid dismantled the last Pally God comp, but I have a feeling that this one's going to be a tough nut to crack. The Mind Seer's on the Invisible Water Elemental by Khryl here, trying to be cheeky. He pulls driftkingz out with this play. Sick play from Khryl there to pull him out of stealth, but Unafraid is still in stealth, trying to find a target, it would appear. driftkingz gets Pet Nova, he gets silenced as well. Deep Freeze on a Taz, full poly lands. driftkingz in trouble, he's getting destroyed right now into the Horrify. That's going to be the first block in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, and this opener already showing how much more pressure this comp has compared to the last one. Tazzy caught into the fear. He's going to be out of CC finally, going into that reself, going to try to get some hots onto driftkingz. Unafraid getting polymorph though. The silence coming out onto driftkingz, trying to deny the deep sheep from him. Beautifully done by Khryl. Khryl now going into the full kidney shot. The blind coming out from Unafraid onto Elite. But the full deep ring currently onto Taz, and they're going to be pressuring driftkingz and try to get his second block here. Let's see if they can get any follow-up CC onto Taz. Khryl under a lot of pressure, though, into the smoke bomb. The Ore Master coming out from Elite as well as those wings. He's going to be able to top him off, and now driftkingz in trouble with the full fear from Khryl onto Taz. He's going to have to trinket that into a silence. He did manage to get the Ironbark off, but now he's into a full Hodge, and driftkingz completely at 40% HP. He should be able to survive without having to use that second block, but, I mean, that was Tazzypoo's trinket.
Yeah, and this God comp is just slowly but surely pushing through the cooldowns. Fortunately for the RMD, they have gotten through all of the trinkets on the side of Rosita's team, and now Khryl into the full kidney. They clone the kidney and the Comet Storm, maybe a bit of a miscommunication, and now Taz caught in a full poly. driftkingz getting pressured into the Horrify, 40% HP. Could be his second block in the game as he gets silenced. Taz into the second poly. Surely is going to be a second block. He's holding on to it. 4%, almost going down, and Taz is going to be finally leaving these polymorphs. He should be able to heal him up, but this God comp has so much pressure.
Yes, so much momentum. Elite's still having his bubble as well as Khryl having dispersed, so they're playing very, very safe. Unafraid taking a lot of damage. He has a target of choice, but I suspect they're going to be switching out onto driftkingz as soon as they have CC for Taz, and there it is. He's loaded up with the dots from Khryl. But Khryl in the kidney shot. Elite choosing to bubble to keep him offensive. Taz caught into the full ring, and now driftkingz in a lot of trouble at 35% HP. The Ice Snow was coming in from Rositajonez. This will surely be the game. The silence coming out. If driftkingz survives, this will be amazing, but he is just going to die.
Dispersed offensively at the end to get out of the slow to get right on top of him. He actually just dispersed, just said screw this, disperse out of Unafraid slow, and just caught right up to him and finished him. And I mean, yeah, this is like light years of difference in terms of playing, because that RMD looked helpless.
Yeah, they just completely ignored the rogue swaps, which I think is, I mean, if the rogue, honestly, like that Hodge disarm strategy on the rogue capitalizes on really the rogues making mistakes. I don't think they should have to keep their feints up appropriately, and the Mage is just like a overall safer choice.
Alright, Ben, I have a very serious question for you.
Yes?
When choosing leather belts for your Windwalker monk, do you want to prioritize Crit Mastery or Mastery Multi-Strike?
Mastery Multi-Strike.
Multi-Strike.
Monk, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Multi-Strike is your tune stat, so you get more value out of it.
Okay,
Mastery's pretty worthless though.
Alright, let's ask this RMD what map they want next. So, is there anything that this RMD can do different to... I don't know, that was a lot of blocks forced very quickly from driftkingz.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting that. I feel like maybe Taz and Unafraid were expecting to be the main targets, and the fact that they committed to driftkingz just threw them off. That's why I had to block so early on. The opener kind of got a little messed up as driftkingz got pulled out of stealth. They weren't able to find a sap, and against the Paladin team, I feel like getting that first sap can be pretty big. Having to deal with Blessing of Sacrifice for polymorphs and stuff like that, and just landing a polymorph in general through a counterspell and another mage spamming poly on you while you're pushing in can be hard. So I really think them getting a sap target them getting a cleaner opener would help them.
Oh my gosh, the tadpoles just never stop, man.
They're never going to go away, man. That tadpole is still in your belly. Okay?
I'm sure I
Do you hear
digested
ribbit
it.
at night when you go to sleep?
No, I don't. Maybe, I don't know. I'm a pretty heavy
Now
sleeper,
I'm messing
man.
with your head. You're actually going to start hearing it. This is a psychology here, man.
Is that crickets or ribbits? Because I keep my window open because I love summer crickets.
Oh,
man.
you say you heard crickets. What if it's ribbits?
You know what? I'm done with you, man.
What if the frog army is mounting outside of your house?
I don't even. Oh, okay. So this is Dollar Red. This is Dollar Red Sewers, chosen by the RMD. Is it gonna be enough though to take out this Holy Pally God Comp? I don't think so. I think this Holy Pally God Comp has a pretty good lockdown on this team. They're gonna have to change quite a bit this RMD to be able to take out such a strong team. But here we go. The game's starting right now.
Yeah, and again, Unafraid is going to have to be careful. Blizzard's coming out from Rosita, not popping anyone out of stealth just yet. The Mind Seer's coming out from Khryl once again to try and catch someone out. No one pulled out just yet. Unafraid and driftkingz playing far back. They're going to use the Invis, wait for Rosita to come out, make sure that none of them get pulled out of stealth. Definitely a very slow opening this time around. Mind Seer onto the Water Elemental once again by Khryl, just staying far back. Trying to pop Unafraid out. driftkingz gets popped out of stealth. They're not going to be able to get a sap once again. They're just going to have to open up onto Khryl with the Garrote. He's kiting Unafraid around. He pops a Shadow Reflection, Adrenaline Rush. Rosita trinkets out of that. Clone a blind onto Elite. He's trying to sit through it. Krill's not taking as much damage as I would have expected there. He puts a Fear onto Unafraid. driftkingz getting pressured with a Poly onto Taz. Poly's being spammed out now by driftkingz onto Elite. He's trying to pressure Khryl in the meantime. He's got to be careful though. 37% HP remaining. 27. He's into death range. He's going to get the block off in time. And now Khryl on the back foot of all that receiving damage is going to get the save by the light proc. Elite into the deep freeze. It doesn't seem like they have any more CC for him, and Khryl should be okay.
Yeah, that opener was a little bit unfortunate. Taz getting polyed outside of deep freeze, so he got caught in caster form by Rositajonez, who had icy veins up. But now Taz once again caught into that deep freeze, now into another full polymorph. driftkingz getting silenced. He has hypothermia for another 5 seconds. He's going to get chunked down. This might end up being the trinket of Taz. He ends up trinketing the fear and able to top off driftkingz. But this is a repeat of last game. They got the block. They got the trinket. It's going to be second block, and then it's going to be big trouble for driftkingz.
Yeah, Khryl into the kidney, Poly onto Rosita, 3v1 onto Khryl. Elite threw up the sack before the clone. He's going to be taking a little bit less damage. He throws the silence onto driftkingz. Elite now into a clone. Taz just spamming, cycling over and over, switching over to Rosita, full Poly onto Elite. He's actually going to trinket that to keep Khryl alive here. The Ore Mastery popped as well. Unafraid trying to build up that buff here slowly but surely. They're actually swapping to Taz. He doesn't have a trinket. He's into the deep. He's going to bark skin. Isn't enough though. He's getting chunked, destroyed, and decimated into the Horrify, and down he's going to go. And Rosita and Khryl punishing this RMD very hard when they overextend even just a centimeter.
Wow. Yeah. So driftkingz, he had another block available to him, didn't he? He did. He had one block available to them, but they're just going to swap it right over onto Taz, as Taz was forced to trinket there a bit earlier on in the game. So, and they're going to punish it. That's going to be 2-0 for Mages. Our Mages transmog is fabulous, and this RMD has finally found the team, the brick wall team that I don't think they're going to be able to beat. They're going to have to change up quite a bit to be able to take out this team, and I honestly don't know what it is that they're going to need to change up. But they are going to have 2 series to be able to figure it out, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do, but it's not looking good for them. Not really able to get anything rolling.
Did they even force the disperse yet or anything? Oh, no, he dispersed at the end.
Yeah, he dispersed offensively, yeah. They didn't really force it.
It's salty at that point. You're just like, come on, I'm not even scared of you. This disperses the crippling poison to push in.
Unafraid is not happy, man. He just whispered to me, Tiger's Peak, cue it up. He's ready, man. He's in it to win it. Game face is on. Can he bring it back here? We're going to find out. The next map of this best of 5 series is going to be on Tiger's Peak, guys.
Oh my God.
Alright guys, welcome to Tiger's Peak. we have the RMD once again going up against the Holy Pally God Comp team. It is currently 0-2, and this Holy Pally God Comp is owning. Can this RMD bring it back 3-0 and take the whole tournament, or they're going to have to try to beat them in a best of 7 for their Survivor round? We're going to find out. 13 seconds till these gates open.
We need a comeback train, man. We need a choo-choo.
You guys got to give this RMD some energy. If you want this RMD to win, you got to give them your energy. If you want this Holy Pally God Comp win, give them your energy. Not that I don't think they need it right now.
I feel like RMD is like the villainous comp. Like no one wants RMD to do well for some reason.
It's the Frieza versus Goku right now, and Unafraid gets popped out of stealth again. They're not going to get a sap opener. Rosita's taking a bit of pressure, but Elite's positioned in the far back. Step Kidney onto Khryl, Adrenaline Rush and Shadow Reflection in the offensive Cloak of Shadows, and that's something that Khryl and Rosita are going to note and punish hard here shortly, I would imagine. Taz positioned far back as well. Rosita trying to get in here for the deep freeze. Silence on the Driftings. Here comes the punishment. Unfortunately, they overlap the Hodge and the Horrify. He's going to be fine. He gets Fear. Deep freeze on the Taz. Paulie follow-up. Unafraid just spamming the feint. He might be able to die through it. He gets the Vanish off at 40%. Recuperate goes up. He's going to Shadow Step. Try and kite back towards the pillar here as Taz finally leaving all of these polymorphs. Should be able to heal him there, and that overlap is going to cost them that potential kill.
Yeah, but this RMD still not able to really get anything going. Kryl's just sitting back, Unafraid, just being snared over and over by Rositajonez. He's trying to connect onto Khryl. Rositajonez getting polymorphed there by driftkingz. He decides to offensively block that right away. Khryl going to trinket that kidney shot, and they're going to go offensive here onto Unafraid, who gets caught into that disarm. Doesn't look like there's going to be a follow-up Hodge by Elite. Khryl taking a little bit of damage at the moment. The Devouring Plague on Unafraid. He decides to use the killing spree, and he might just die out of the killing spree. He forced to use that Cloak of Shadows. Khryl taking a little bit of damage. driftkingz caught into that polymorph. Rositajonez trying to do everything he can to CC this RMD to prevent Khryl from actually having to use Disperse. Elite did have to use this trinket as well as his wings there. Now Kryl's caught into the full kidney shot, but no CC on Elite. Kryl's going to be okay.
Yeah, now the full poly though, clone onto Rosita, 3v1 finally onto Khryl. He's going for the MD, he gets locked out at 50% health here. And they're trying to swap it up onto Unafraid, but Elite can't follow up with a stun. Taz rung up, and Khryl is going to get topped off here. He gets the execution sentence off. Unafraid using another Vanish just to garrote silence everyone. Now the poly onto Rosita, going to get dispelled instantly by Elite. However, Khryl starting to feel a bit of pressure as he goes into the kidney. Poly's being spammed out. Finally, the smoke bomb being used, and they're chunking him. He's going to throw out the Blessing of Protection and the save by the light proc. They're turning it around onto driftkingz though. Devouring Plague gets slapped onto him. Taz leaving the last poly here. Might be his block though at 20% HP. Gets it off in time, but slowly but surely the God Comp is pushing their way through driftkingz cooldowns.
Yeah, I think this is what they need to do. They need to not mess around with going on the rogue. Khryl, now caught into that full kidney shot, decides to disperse at relatively high HP while Elite is in that cycle, and he's trying to get away. Elite now at a CC, but he is caught into that frost shell, deciding to bubble that. So now Elite has no trinket, no bubble. Khryl has no trinket, no disperse, and Kryl's still getting chunked down. He just had that sack up from Elite, and the sack's bubble does finally fade. Taz into the full deep sheep, and looks like they're on to driftkingz, who does get disarmed. This could be his second block. Taz has no trinket available for another 26 seconds, and surely, unless driftkingz can get away somehow, it's going to be his second block. The Save of the Light comes out, and Taz able to throw that huge NS onto him. Khryl now caught into the full kidney shot. They're looking to get CC onto Elite, who is LOSing driftkingz right now, so he's not going to be able to really get anything onto him. Because of that, Kryl's going to be alright.
Yeah, and his dispersion comes up in a minute. He's got to make sure that he survives comfortably to that point. Elite doesn't have a trinket or a bubble. This is the time the RMD needs to set up. Unfortunately, they're the ones getting set up on, and it might be driftkingz block. The Hodge cross CC onto Unafraid. Driftkingz gets horrified. Taz dispels one of the Hodge, but now he's caught into the half poly. Driftkingz dipping lower and lower and lower. 50% not going to block, and that's going to be a quick 3-0 for Khryl, Rosita, and Elite.
Down goes driftkingz. I keep calling him driftkingz. Like this is
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift or something. Yeah. Oh man, DK.
We should call him DK, man. That's a sweet name. Alright, that's going to be a 3-0 for our Mage's transmog is fabulous. And there it is. We're going to go into the Survivor round, as the rules do state that every single one of the teams throughout our brackets are capable of losing their one series. That is going to be that RMD series to lose. Now it is going to be a best of 7 between these two teams. Can this RMD bring it back? They're going to have to change something up, but that was definitely a much different game. They forced a lot. I mean, Khryl, he had no disperse.
What's that noise?
Is that a kitty?
It sounds like a jingly bell thing.
Oh,
His mic is just exploding.
my mic is.
Oh,
Your webcam mic.
it hurts.
It's just for us. It's okay.
Okay.
Just don't talk a lot.
Here, I'm gonna give
Wait,
you.
it's gone. Wait, it's gone.
I'm giving you guys the good mic tonight.
Oh, it's so much better. Oh.
I'm giving you the good mic tonight. How do you like it? Do you like it? Is it good?
Oh.
I'm not sure what's going on right now, but I'm gonna go AFK for a sec.
There it is. Okay, I kind of just did that on purpose. All right. I love watching Hannah's like reactions to the delayed like stream to what I'm hearing. So Hannah's listening to Super T's like freak out over my new microphone sound.
What?
Dmachine, take my tadpole. Why?
People are gonna. Someone is gonna give you a real tadpole at BlizzCon. I know
Like a
that
baggie?
somebody is gonna be like.
Like a little. I wonder if I'm gonna be able. I couldn't bring it on the plane though.
No, somebody down there is gonna bring you one.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, someone can live in California and go to an aquarium and pick up
Just
one.
leave the tadpoles alone and don't give
Yeah.
it to Dmachine.
Don't
'cause we
give
know
me
what's
the
gonna happen.
tadpole,
He's
please.
gonna eat
Yeah.
it. Don't give
Yeah.
it to him.
I'm not gonna eat
Just
another
leave him alone. It's not
tadpole.
even a joke, okay?
Leave me alone.
No, leave them alone. You're the
Oh,
criminal.
Leave the
man.
tadpoles alone. We're not defending you.
Damn it. Oh, when I mute my mic, you guys can't hear me either. All right, bye guys.
All right, Unafraid. They need to try and get a sap. I feel like the opener keeps getting botched. Kryl's Mindseer technique catching them quite frequently. Rosita's right on top of driftkingz. He does Kona Cold him out of stealth here, and Elite's going to get combat. As a result, they have to open up on a Rosita temporarily, as they do want to tunnel Khryl down to the ground. Denounce onto Unafraid. He's going to get polyed as well. He's not able to connect there. I'm not sure if the kidney dodged or parried. I don't know where the kidney shot went, but he did use it. Cross CC comes out. driftkingz alone here in the center of the map, getting owned. He got locked on Paul. He's dipping lower and lower and lower, and down goes driftkingz. We got a repeat on our hands. I don't know what's happening, but
These guys very much so might be on tilt, man. I'm gonna go pep talk them. Here we go. Ready? I'm gonna give them the old Dmachine pep talk.
You do that, Dmachine. Get these guys
he
pumped up and ready to go.
unseabinded, I wonder.
I don't think that happened. I think just a lot of damage came in, happens sometimes. Okay, guys. So I give him such a hard time. But, I mean, they're just controlling the game so well. I mean, as soon as Unafraid opened up, he got spam sheep by Rosita and they killed off the Shadow Reflection, just denying any sort of pressure they had. Then the triple CC comes in, the deep sheep, as well as the Hodge on Unafraid.
The Shadow of the Spectral guys? Because he used Kidney. I saw it on his globals, but nobody got stunned. I feel like he actually stunned the guys. Can we watch that? Do we have a replay?
No.
No, we don't?
No.
Okay. I'll watch the VOD to see what he stunned.
I
He either dodged it or he stunned the Spectral guys. Either one, I mean, is kind of unlucky, but you really can't afford to lose that first Kidney as a combat rogue.
Alright, I gave him a good pep talk.
What'd you say?
I sang him the lyrics to a very important song.
Oh, I was... Man. What was it, like Eminem?
It's time to mock spaghetti.
Rap god.
No, not that song.
I
One
sang
chance, you one opportunity.
I
Are
sang
you
him.
gonna capture?
One shot, one chance to blow.
I should have did that
Opportunity
one.
comes once in a lifetime, yo.
No, he doesn't say yo. He says you better, and then like interrupts himself, and then it goes into
I
the.
don't. You know what?
chorus
I've
again.
listened to that in
Should
so
have
long.
done Aragorn's speech to
Oh my
the
gosh!
remainder of men
Should we?
before they.
Should we do it?
Aragorn's speech.
Should we do
But
it?
it is not this day.
Hi, Peter Pan. You want to give him a pep talk? Come here. Come over here. Yeah, you're the boy. Alright, Peter Pan is now on this RMD side. They can't lose now. Good boy, Peter Pan. The next map of this best of 7 series is going to be on Tiger's Peak Arena. Arr.
I feel like we were already on Tiger's Peak, and that's because we were. The games have been so quick.
Yeah.
Man, I love that the UI doesn't screw up at all. I've not had a single problem with it since that last update. It's always perfect.
Yep. And I'm going to get you guys a gigantic file of nicknames, so even on EU and on US, you guys are going to be able to have those
gigantic
nicknames.
File of nicknames.
Yeah, where I'm literally going to every person who's ever been in our tournament and changing, like, so like for example, Fusion, Huge Sack will be Fusion and stuff like that. Every single player. And so all you guys have to do is just put the file in your folder and then you're all good.
It sounds complicated. I don't know.
It does sound pretty complicated.
It's not. I'm doing all the work, okay?
Can you do it for me? I'll share screen.
Okay.
Talk about the games. I think it's going to be very important that this RMD gets a good open. I don't think one game they've gotten a sap. Every single game they're getting pulled out by Blizzard or
oh my god, a sap!
And finally they get the sap onto Khryl. They switches it onto Rositajonez. Khryl just using that spec guy, so they can't open up onto him
they didn't
at
open
the
with
moment. Yeah, well, he was in that spec guys as soon as he got out of that sap, so they couldn't really get him out.
This sack comes out from Elite to try and dodge these early polymorphs. The half kidney comes out. Unafraid is hodged up. Cross CC onto driftkingz. I do not want to see a repeat, driftkingz. No damage following through, though. driftkingz spamming out the defensive polymorphs. Taz going to leave the CC now. Devouring Plague finally connecting. Taz is going to clone Rosita. He's going to actually block out of that and go ham onto driftkingz. The Iron Bark comes out onto him from Taz. He pops the Heart of the Wild as well. Now Khryl on the back foot. Got to be a little cautious here with the combat rug. The red buff is building. Elite's going to pop the Avenging Wrath. Top him off. He should be fine here. Unafraid getting polyed up now, and driftkingz should be getting pressured here shortly.
Yeah, he still hasn't used his first block, but I mean, you can expect the next CC chain, the double fear coming out onto Unafraid, as well as driftkingz, and now Taz and the full polymorph. driftkingz getting pressured so hard. Do they have any follow-up for Taz? driftkingz blocking a little bit earlier. He doesn't want to repeat, and I don't think he actually had to block there, but he just wanted to play it a little bit safer than the previous games. They're trying to get it rolling onto Khryl with the full polymorph onto Elite, as well as the Cyclone onto Rosita. Beautiful cross. You see Rosita choosing not to use the second block offensively. It is not the time. But it looks like despite all this CC, Khryl is playing it very safe, and he's going to be okay. Unafraid actually getting dispelled out of that fear. But Krill's getting chunked down so hard right now, down to 30% HP, hovering around 40% HP. Elite's going to use that bubble, but driftkingz getting turned around onto right now, taking a lot of damage.
Unafraid actually feeling the brunt of that. They instantly swapped Unafraid when the Iron Bark went up onto driftkingz. Now Rosita actually using a second block. Elite caught into a full poly. The Mass Dispel going to land by Khryl, though, getting him out of that. Now into the half poly, though, but Rosita is relentless as well, polying Unafraid an equal amount of times. Taz leaving the CC here. Both teams stabilizing as far as crowd control comes. Now the kidney shot onto Khryl, but with no polymorph DRs for Elite, I don't think they're going to be able to get anything done. Unafraid actually cloaked there, and that's something, once again, that Khryl and Rosita are going to look to punish. He still has his trinket. Maybe they potentially swap to Taz as well. He's in the back here. He's in stealth, maybe expecting a swap. Double Fear and polymorph. Horrify on, and Hodge overlapped onto Unafraid here. He's choosing not to trinket, a bit reckless. And Taz isn't going to get CC'd. Rosita's getting spam polyed. Taz should be able to keep Unafraid alive here as he pushes in for the kidney shot with the adrenaline rush. That red buff's going to be building. It's going to be building fast. Elite sacrificed the poly, though. It's going to break instantaneously. Rosita trinkets into a clone. Elite gets locked out here. Krill's could be in trouble here. Might be his disperse at 29% HP. The Eviscerate comes in, disperses at 15%. Elite's still getting CC'd. He has his trinket. He has the Avenging Wrath up. He just needs to get in line of sight. He gets half clone now. He's going to be leaving that half clone. Taz into the deep freeze. Fear onto all the DPS as well as Taz. driftkingz into the Horrify. Full poly. Silence onto driftkingz. Hodge onto Unafraid. 3v1 onto driftkingz for a few seconds here, but the damage isn't there.
Yeah, they're not able to really get too much damage out, but that was driftkingz double ice now, as well as a killing spree when they did get all that pressure onto Khryl. Elite has no cooldowns left, though, except Bop. He has no bubble, no trinket for himself, and now Krill's in a situation where he's by himself, just running as fast as he can with those feathers to get away from Unafraid. But Unafraid reconnects with the kidney shot, and Elite's able to get a Bop onto that, so Krill's going to be safe for that kidney shot. Beautiful Bop there by Elite. And they're trying to get the damage rolling onto driftkingz. Finally, the full polymorph comes out, and it looks like it's going to be Unafraid who's the one who's in trouble. Gets Hodge, and Taz actually is able to dispel him, and he's able to get that Cloak of Shadows off. So beautiful dispel by Taz with a little gap in that CC chain.
Yeah, and the Iron Bark comes out onto Unafraid with the Kidney onto Khryl. Drifting's getting polyed. Taz dispels that as well. Elite positioned very far back. He needs to avoid the CC. He doesn't have his Shrink. He doesn't have his Bubble. The Deep Freeze lands. No Disperse for Khryl. It might be the comeback here. He gets life gripped away by Khryl. The Horrify onto Driftings. He's getting pressured. He's got to be careful. He's got to get that block off. He's polying Rosita right now defensively over and over. But there's the cross CC. Drifting's completely alone at 43%. Devouring Plague is up. He's trying to line of sight with a Blazing Speed, but they're going to push in here shortly. Taz on the other side. Poly onto Elite. He wants to go offensive, but he's so low and he just can't. Khryl into the Kidney. Unafraid basically has to solo him, but Elite's not CC'd. I don't see that happening. Driftings has stabilized for now. Taz's line of sighting silence on the Driftings. He actually trinkets the silence there to try and spam some spell steals deep onto Elite. He did get locked out there, and now Khryl could be feeling some pressure. His Disperse up in 9 seconds. A full clone onto Elite. No trinket, but polys are just coming out non-stop by Rosita onto the DPS. He can't get anything going. A full poly onto Elite. Still no trinket. Still no bubble. Full clone onto Rosita. He's going to trinket that. The Kidney shot finally landing onto Khryl. He's going to trinket that. He has his Disperse available now, so it's going to be too late. He just has to make sure that he uses it at 20%. He doesn't even have to. Elite's godly hand's going to keep him topped. Drifting's forced into the second block, and he does have another one available as Cold Snap did come up, so he should be reasonably stable.
Yeah, Taz also has his Trinket as well as Iron Bark to keep him up, and Krill's the one in trouble into the full Kidney shot. Sack is up from Elite, the Deep Freeze on Elite. Driftking's going to wait. He's trying to get that Polymorph out, but Rosita doing a beautiful job spam CCing Driftking, so he isn't able to get much follow-up CC, but the blind comes out from Unafraid onto Elite. The Double Fear from Khryl trying to prevent a little bit of damage. Elite having to actually bubble that full Polymorph there to keep Khryl alive. Driftkingz is the target of choice for Khryl and Rositajonez, but Unafraid just shutting down Khryl so hard, just sitting on his back. He's now into the full Kidney shot. He has to use that Disperse with the Frost shot on Elite, the Deep Freeze on Elite, and they might actually just be able to kill through if they can get any follow-up CC onto Elite whatsoever. He doesn't have that Aura Mastery available for another 5 seconds.
Oh, he got locked out!
Might just die. He gets locked out with no Aura Mastery, like you said. The Save of the Light does proc on him at the last second. Thank goodness gracious for him, but the offensive clone coming in. Taz taking a lot of damage from Rositajonez. Rositajonez almost soloing Taz there. But the killing spree is going to come out from Unafraid onto Khryl, down to 7%, and he might just die. This could be the first game that the RMD gets against him. The Deep Freeze coming out onto Elite, the full Kidney shot onto Khryl, the Frozen Orb out from Driftkingz, and Krill's going to die, and this RMD is going to tie up the series 1-1.
Oh man, the RMD bringing it back 1-1. Here we go. Let's take a quick look at that replay. This is a best of 7 though, guys. So these teams have, whichever team gets to 4 wins first is going to take the entire series. That was risky of Taz. Taz is like displacing in and bashing at like no health, but it paid off. There it is. Wonder what this God Comp is going to choose for a map up next. Oh man.
Oh man. I don't know what it is, but oh man, because you said oh man.
Alright, one more time. Ready? Can we do it at the same time? Can I count it down?
3. When I say go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh man. I did it early, man.
Yeah, okay, it's because I have to say go. Venruki has to count us in.
Okay.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh man. It still
you guys
wasn't that
suck.
good. Yeah, we're not good.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that
That was
bad.
awful. That was terrible.
Okay, Ven, you and Dmachine tried. I'll count you in.
Okay.
Ready? When I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Burrito.
Damn.
Burrito? Is that what you said?
Did you say burrito?
I think so.
You don't even know what
like
you
a
said.
cappuccino with that burrito.
Man, I just got trolled.
Can we spam the cappuccinos in the chat?
Alright, hold up. Ain't scared. Unafraid whispers me. He's like, hold up, gotta catch my breath. I like that. He's in it to win it right now, man. This is 1-1, a best of 7. Can they take this God Comp out? I don't know. It's gonna be definitely hard for these teams, but here we go. Yeah, I know. We're waiting. Clutter Monkey over here harassing me. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Clutter Monkey. If you don't know who she is my fiance. She's in the background. She's making sure all the organization between these teams is good. She's setting up literally everything. GCD TV would not be without Clutter Monkey.
But does she know you ate a tadpole?
She is aware
She
that I
knows.
added tadpole. She knows everything that's wrong with me and everything that's right with me.
There's more than tadpoles that's wrong with you?
Oh,
What
of
else have you
course.
eaten?
Spiders.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. I swear
Okay,
to
I'm
God.
leaving. What is going on?
You never
I
ate a
feel like-
spider before?
How
Really?
can you be surprised when you ask that question? Like,
Man, I had a weird
is this
childhood.
real life?
Can I tell you guys a story about my brother?
No, you can't. Okay.
No, it's not about consuming anything.
Okay, fine.
It's about shenanigans. So, my brother Earl got hit with a, like, you know those darts that, just regular darts. My brother Alex threw a dart at my brother Earl and it hit him in the thigh. And it actually pierced him, like, into his leg. And so for revenge, my brother Earl then had Alex go get the paper from my dad on Christmas Day. And it's super snowy outside, it's really cold. And Alex refused to get dressed, and Earl knew he would. So he locked all the windows and doors when Alex went to go out and get the paper. And he got on the roof, and he unloaded, like, 3 boxes full of paintballs onto Alex while he was in his underwear in the snow. There it is.
That's really mean.
Yeah,
That's
my
a pretty
brother.
mean story.
And
Wow,
those,
that's
see,
a really like.
these are the people that enticed me to eat tadpoles and spiders.
What do they like? Have a paintball gun to your head or something?
No, they had a $20 bill.
Oh
They
yeah.
paid him to eat it.
Yeah, they just paid you off to eat weird stuff, and you were just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll eat a spider. That's not $20. Oh, yep.
You guys, I can't believe no one's ever eaten a spider before. It's not that big a deal.
No.
Okay,
I never
what
eat
is
a
happening?
spider. What? Was it alive?
Oh, are they ready? Alright, we're good.
Was it alive or was it dead?
What, the spider?
Yeah.
It was dead.
Did you kill it in your mouth or was it already dead before it went in your mouth?
I ate it with some spider web. It was a lot of paintballs.
Okay, I'm done.
Like, my mom was
Let's
the
talk
big-
about this game.
My
What
mo-
went right for the RMD that game? They finally were
Buy
able to
with that
get a good-
$20.
All right.
They went all in, man. That's what they did. They put on their big boy pants and they said, you know, today it's gonna be my day, and it happened to be their day that one round, and that's what they got to do every game.
Let's play the games now, please.
I'm trying, man. They're not joining the queue.
Please play the game.
One of the teams is not joining the queue.
Have you ever eaten dog food?
No, I've never eaten dog food.
See, now that's a strange thing that I'd kind of be okay if you got paid to eat as a joke.
Wait, you'd rather me eat dog food than eat a spider?
Yeah!
Why? Dog food? I would not eat dog food for $20. I'd eat a spider for $20. I would not eat dog
What?
food for $20. Dog food's gross, man.
Dry dog food, like the crunchy kind.
That's worse. Maybe.
Why is that worse?
I never even smelled dog food before.
What?
I haven't.
Why are we talking about
Why are we talking
It's
about this?
Supatiz's fault.
Am I enticing you to talk about this?
I don't know. One of the teams isn't getting queued for some reason. Okay, guys. I'm pressing the button as often as I possibly can, but one of these teams is not getting the queue for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
I licked dog food. That stuff was gross.
Cue
See?
them, please!
I'm trying. There we go.
Please.
The double Q went out. Here we go. I think Unafraid told me that he has to pee, man. For
Oh
real.
my god. Twitch chat, please pick a topic to talk about that isn't disgusting.
We could talk about World of Warcraft.
We
What's
could.
going on in these games?
I think that the RMD got efficient
Well-
trades, man. That's what I think. I
What?
think
What went right with those games? I mean, they finally got a SAP opener, which is important. I mean, they didn't really get too much done with it, but it sort of denied the initial pressure of the God comp.
I feel like I have the plate buffs add-on, so I can actually see the buffs on Unafraid, and I feel like those games he was generating his red buff a lot faster.
If we donate directly to Dmachine, will he eat weird things during breaks?
No.
You've got a new
For real though,
I'm funding the stream now.
I feel like when a rogue is getting a lot of uptime on their target, Killing Spree comes off a cooldown super fast. And when Killing Spree normally is like, what, 2 minutes? Let's hover over it. Yeah, it's 2 minutes. So if they can reduce that cooldown to like, say, like a minute and a half, or as less as they can, they're going to get efficient trades, especially with Disperse being at a 2-minute cooldown. So if they're red buffing Killing Spreeing and getting Khryl as Disperse every Killing Spree, eventually they're going to get a better efficient trade and kill Khryl. But that being said, they have to make sure to get the cross CC onto Elite to ensure to force the dispersion, to ensure to get the kill. And with the cross CC coming out from Rositajonez, it's tough. It definitely is, but this team can do it.
I think the last game, the God Comp actually wasted a little bit too much time on Unafraid. I think it's the unsafe strategy, and if they want to just play it safe, they'll just put all their damage into driftkingz when Tazzy gets put into that full CC. And really, driftkingz has nowhere to run, and Taz should be into a lot of CC here. It's a small map. Khryl can hopefully land fears on him out of the sheeps, but we'll see how it goes. Unafraid stealthing to the right side of the map. He's going to get the sap on Khryl right away. Let's see if he can follow it up onto Elite. Elite, I think, is actually... no, he's not in combat. It doesn't look like Unafraid's actually able to sap him. He resaps Khryl, and now Unafraid getting knocked out by the Pet Nova. Elite using that freedom to try to LOS driftkingz NDCC onto him. The full fear from Khryl coming out onto Unafraid and driftkingz right away. Taz still in CC, and it looks like driftkingz taking a little bit of damage, but Khryl really able to not really do too much at the moment. Taz, the second he gets out of stealth, gets caught into that Hodge, he trinkets immediately into the DR deep freeze, and they've already forced the trinket from Taz with that initial swap.
Yeah, and he's going to have his barks, and he got caught out, and Krill's under fire, 30% HP, 22% HP. He's going to have to use the dispersion. So much pressure onto him from Unafraid there. Rosita spamming poly after poly. Elite gets deeped on his Avenging Wrath. The killing spree coming out from Unafraid here, not accomplishing too much. Elite does get blinded on his cast. He's going to choose to trinket out of that. Taz eating a VT dispel into a full fear. Elite in a Frostjaw. Unafraid as well, feared up. Taz getting swapped to in the deep freeze. They have the silence and the horrify if they can follow it up into the DR. Hodge now, Khryl trying to push up to get the CC, not able to land it just yet. Taz is going to survive because the CC wasn't chained together. He's going to be able to line of sight. Now Khryl caught in the kidney, has no disperse. Elite has to bubble here in desperation. Taz into a poly. It's unfortunately going to not accomplish too much just yet. driftkingz gets silenced there. Devouring Plague is ticking. Taz is spamming the heals now. Throws the counterspell out there. I don't think he locked anything. He's going for the Frostjaw now. It's going to get the deep freeze onto Elite. Going for the Frostjaw as the poly got interrupted. That's going to land full, but driftkingz in trouble. He's got to be careful. He gets the block at 30% there as Taz goes into the fear.
Yeah, but this killing spree is going to be up for Unafraid, and Elite has no trinket, no bubble. Khryl has no trinket, no bubble. Elite able to catch a bop onto Khryl before that smoke bomb went down, so that was well done by him. Very, very good timing. And it looks like Rositajonez is going to be swapped too a little bit. Just the Garrote coming onto him from Unafraid. He did choose to block offensively. He's going to have one more block left. He's not really in any trouble whatsoever. driftkingz now in a little bit of trouble. He's still in hypothermia for another second. Taz into the full sheep. The killing spree coming out onto Khryl. Both teams under a lot of pressure here. driftkingz probably going to have to use a second block. The fear coming out onto Taz. The second block coming out of driftkingz. And Khryl able to survive. He has to disperse up in another 21 seconds. And I think he's going to be fine for quite some time. driftkingz still in a lot of trouble at 64%. Taz trying to get hots on him. He's getting spammed dispelled though. The rejuve's finally up on him. He should get topped off, but they're in a really uncomfortable position.
Yeah, now the God Comp has the advantage. Elite's trinket's coming up in 20 seconds. Khryl has dispersed in 3. He has to live for 3 more. He's going to trinket out of the kidney. Deep freeze onto Taz. Full poly follow-up. driftkingz could go down. Taz trinkets that. Throws the Iron Bark up with a Hodge onto Unafraid. Khryl gets caught into the kidney there. Taz is avoiding the CC here. Follow-up. Khryl's trying to push in for what looks like could be a fear. He's not able to with Unafraid sitting on his tail. He's going to put him into the Garrote. Elite trinkets that immediately. Throws up the sacrifice to eat some of the polys coming in, but Taz is just going to clone Khryl. Denying the Avenging Wrath heals out from Elite. Now Poly's onto Rosita. He's actually going to block out of that to try and keep the offensive pressure moving. Khryl does get kidneyed at 70%. Elite finally leaving CC, but now into a half clone. Dispersion is available. He doesn't want to have to use it in this situation, though. He wants to save it for when Elite runs out of cooldowns. Now he uses Trinket. driftkingz in a 3v1 currently in the top of the tomb, taking quite a bit of damage into the silence now at 40%. Just going to go down possibly in Shadow Word death range. That's going to be it. driftkingz catching the heal in time by Taz, and Unafraid peeling like a god with Garrotes onto the entire team, but it might not matter. 1 second poly, 7% HP going to fall. Khryl and Rosita's damage is just endless.
Yeah, and that's a really bad spot for them to be in. driftkingz had no block for 2 minutes. So Taz had when Taz trinketed there, driftkingz still didn't have his block for 2 minutes. So they had 2 minutes to work through no trinket on the Druid and no block on driftkingz. So they were able to make it happen and actually kill him.
Yep, there it is. It's going to be 1-2 in favor of our Mage's transmog is fabulous. And this is a best of 7, so the team that reaches 4 wins will win the entire tournament, as this is the grand finals. And so that was the map choice of our Mage's transmog is fabulous as well, though. So that being said, it is now the RMD's map choice. Let's see here. Okay, thank you, Clutter. So far the maps that have been played are Nagarand Arena, Tiger's Peak, and Ruins of Lordaeron. So this is a best of 7. Now our rules state that once they reach 5 out of 6 of the maps, they can choose whatever map they want again. So the next map is going to be on Dalaran Sewers. Interesting. Alright. Something else to note, guys, if you're interested in watching the VODs to any of these tournaments, feel free to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dmachine52. They will be always uploaded there, probably around Monday or maybe even Tuesday is when all the VODs will go up.
VOD day, getting down on VOD day.
Everybody's looking forward to Monday.
Didn't you say Tuesday?
Or Tuesday.
That's VOD day.
Usually it's Monday, but sometimes it ends up being Tuesday. I feel like might be a Tuesday week just because it's a lot of content this week. It's going to be this way forever from now on, but I'll start getting used to it. We're getting more efficient at getting into the queues and everything like that, so the nights ultimately have been getting shorter, but tonight specifically has been kind of long because we didn't do the 2 rounds on Friday, and now we have a best of 7 grand finals as well. So, but I don't know. Here we go. Don't let Super Tease seize. I will do no such thing. Super Tease can sing whatever he wants.
Oh.
Wait. Here we go. It is Dalaran Sewers. It's Holy Pally God Comp versus RMD. RMD has won once. Can they do it 3 more times, or is this Holy Pally God Comp going to take the whole thing?
I think as long as this God Comp keeps doing the consistent strategy of just going on the Mage, it's like the safe thing that they can do.
It's probably their best plan. Master Spell gets locked out on Khryl. The half kidney shot follow up. driftkingz taking some damage early on here. He's spamming the defensive polymorphs out. Amplify magic used as well by driftkingz to try and give Taz a little bit of help. Elite gets Frostjawed. Khryl taking a bit of damage here from Unafraid. He throws the blind out onto Elite. He's choosing to sit through it, and Khryl might have to disperse as a result. They're shredding through the Saved by the Light proc. He's going to use the Avenging Wrath. He gets deep frozen on his trinket. driftkingz gets silenced deep onto Taz. They're trying to put him into the full poly and put the pressure onto driftkingz in the Horrify. 3v1 as Unafraid is rooted. He cloaks, but it might not be enough. driftkingz drifting lower and lower and lower. Almost in a double death range. He's got to be careful. Taz gets the NS off. A kidney shot onto Khryl. More polymorphs onto Rosita. They should stabilize.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to stabilize there. And Taz still has his trinket. driftkingz not having to use any of his blocks yet. And Elite already used his trinket. Khryl already uses his trinket. So they can catch Elite in an ECC with the kidney shot on Khryl. He could be in trouble. driftkingz still the target of choice. Getting loaded up with the dots of Devouring Plague coming in. Taz not getting any follow-up CC there by Rositajonez. The smoke bomb coming in, though, onto Khryl, who's caught into that kidney shot. Going to use that disperse at 38% HP. Elite using the Aura Mastery on that Frostjaw. And it looks like Taz is caught into the Hodge, the Fear onto Unafraid. Just trying to stabilize Khryl, who's still in death range. He's at 25%, 19% HP. The Save of the Light proc coming in. Elite getting full cloned up. He has Sack on Khryl right now. He's probably not going to bubble. He's going to try to not use that. That would be a blunder, or not a blunder, but it would be very hard for them if they had to use all those cooldowns. Driftking being forced into that block. Rositajonez choosing to use his block offensively. And Rositajonez actually has no blocks for a long time, but I think he's going to be safe. It's going to be very hard for this RMD to actually kill him. But driftkingz...
So Unafraid just used his cloak and his trinket consecutively, and if Khryl and Rosita realize that, they could really capitalize on it. Taz doesn't have his trinket either. Elite into a poly right now. They have to be careful about when they go for it. Elite's going to bubble. Khryl trinkets out. Seems like they're still pressuring driftkingz for now. I don't know if they noticed the opportunity there for a swap, but it doesn't seem like they're going to capitalize on it. Rosita getting polyed. It's going to get dispelled by Elite. He has the Avenging Wrath. He's dumping huge heals out onto Khryl. Killing Spree coming out, though. He does get feared towards the end of it. Elite's coming out of the Deep Freeze. Now the Deep Freeze on the Taz. They're swapping it up onto Unafraid. He's into the full Hodge. Khryl trying to pump out the Deeps in the Horrify here. They need to kill him. They need to kill him quick. 45% HP remaining. Taz comes out of the ring. He gets the Vanish off. He's going to survive.
Yeah, he's still at 23% though, and he doesn't have cloak up for a little while longer. Evasion coming in, the full blind onto Elite. They're trying to turn it around onto Khryl, but Unafraid still in a lot of trouble at 31% HP. Taz has the hard hots up on him. He's going to be fine having that feint up. Khryl caught into the full kidney shot at the moment. The deep freeze onto Elite. Elite's trinket is now back up. Khryl has that disperse up in 18 seconds as well. And it looks like they're going to be switching on over to driftkingz. Driftkingz popping that Icy Veins, trying to go offensive. The Iron Bark coming out onto driftkingz before the Deep Freeze lens onto Taz. Well done by Taz. It looks like there's not going to be any follow-up CC by Rositajonez. Elite actually caught into the full polymorph now by driftkingz. Khryl into the kidney shot. It looks like they're trying to pressure him as much as they possibly can. And Elite, he does have his trinket, and Khryl still has his disperse, so despite him getting really low, the Save of the Light coming out, he might have to actually disperse there, but he has a huge shield on himself from that Save of the Light. The Garrote coming out onto Elite. Taz actually getting swapped over too, and all the madness, just getting away with only an NS on himself. Khryl still in a lot of trouble. It's still in that kidney shot, gets bopped out by Elite before the full polymorph comes in, but this could still be as dispersed. Either way, the Holy Light's coming in from Elite, but driftkingz having to use that second block, and despite Khryl being pressured, they're able to force so many defensive cooldowns from this RMD.
Yeah, they really need to just get through Taz's trinket. A Hodge onto Unafraid. Rosita's getting spam polyed. He has deep up in 10 seconds. That's when they're going to make their move. A silence on a driftkingz. Khryl positioned here defensively. Grips Elite out of line of sight to dodge those polymorphs. Driftkingz is fully dotted. Taz is in the center of the map. Deep Freeze is up. He goes for the deep. Double Fear onto the DPS. They land the full poly. Horrify onto driftkingz. No trinket, no block. They're trying to go for the damage, but a nice kidney shot onto Khryl, denying his pressure, and a Garrote now onto Rosita as driftkingz crosses the map, trying to kite with Tazzy behind this next set of boxes. The Divine Plague going to come in. Taz finally leaves the CC, gets the Swiftbend off. It's going to get the Genesis rolling here shortly. Should be able to heal driftkingz just fine. Unafraid is rooted, unfortunately, in the center of the map. He's going to get dispelled out from Taz. Poly's being spammed by Rosita's. They realize the kill attempt is gone. Cold Snap comes up. Driftkingz is going to be okay.
Yeah, and Khryl caught into that full kidney shot, the blind onto Elite. He does decide to bubble that. Khryl does have disperse, but Elite deciding to use that bubble instead. The Fear coming out onto Unafraid as well as driftkingz, and it looks like they're going to be swapping over onto Tazzypoo. He does manage to displace and get away safely. Driftkingz getting spam polyed by Rositajonez, and they didn't get the bar skin or the Iron Bark from Taz, who's now caught into that full Hodge. Rositajonez and Khryl both connecting onto him. The full polymorph, though, coming out onto Taz. Driftkingz in a little bit of trouble. He does have that Cold Snap available, pops the Cold Snap heal into the silence, but this will surely be another block from him. The DR Deep Freeze coming in onto Tazzypoo. Driftkingz somehow, some way surviving. The Smoke Bomb coming out onto Khryl, who's caught into that full kidney shot. Elite has no trinket, no bubble available, so Krill's going to have to disperse. If they can get more CC onto Elite, this could be Krill's life. He has nothing left. The full clone onto Elite. They're chasing down Khryl. He's doing anything he can to survive, getting a big fear onto Driftkingz as well as Unafraid. Unafraid getting dispelled out of that full sheep. Khryl still in a little bit of trouble. Elite has his wings up though, as well as Aura Mastery, but Unafraid doing a good job sheep-shotting him to shut it down. Taz used that offensive clone onto Khryl, and now Elite into the Frost Shot. He does have his trinket available if a polymorph is coming, but he does manage to get a sack up, and now Driftkingz taking a little damage. Taz deciding to Iron Bark him, and Khryl surviving there.
Yeah, Elite into a poly. It did not actually get Mass Dispel. I guess they broke it with the Cone of Cold. Rosita into the Cyclone. Drifting's Iron Bark is going to be fading here. He still has one more block. He's stabilizing reasonably well, and it's Khryl that should be defensive. He's standing back here with Elite. He gets put into the Kidney Shot. Deep Freeze onto Elite. Krill's going to trinket that to land a Defensive Fear to interrupt the Polymorph follow-up. Unafraid now getting polyed. Taz positioned away on the staircase. He's going to get Blink, Deep Frozen Silence on the Driftings. It could be the end for him here. Devouring Plague comes up to him. He's got to be careful and get that block off. He uses his final block here for 2 minutes. Taz leaving the CC, throwing up the Hots. Unafraid cloaking offensively here, and he doesn't have a trinket. Elite has Hodge up in 18 seconds. It could be a possible punishment. He actually went for the killing spree and accomplished practically nothing with it.
Yeah. Khryl still not completely safe at the moment. Elite has no trinket, no bubble. Khryl into the full kidney shot, the full blind onto Elite. He does have one bop available. He's deciding not to use it. Taz caught into the full deep sheep. They're trying to turn around onto driftkingz, who has no block. Taz has no trinket. This could be the end for driftkingz. Khryl under a little bit of pressure, but I think driftkingz is going to be the one that ultimately dies. Taz getting out of the CC, able to toss out a huge NS onto driftkingz, but he's still under a lot of pressure. The DR polymorph coming out onto Taz. driftkingz still in trouble. The Hodge coming out from Elite onto Taz. The offensive block from Rositajonez, and driftkingz going to die, and Mage's Mog is Fabulous is going to be up 3-1, one away from taking the whole thing.
Boom. All right,
Uno mas. Uno mas.
Uno mas. There it is. Can they do it? I feel like they're in a pretty good spot right now. This Holy Pally God Comp's probably feeling very, very confident. But who knows? I mean, crazier things has happened. Let's jump right into it.
Wait, I haven't left yet. I'm slow, sorry.
I haven't left yet either. I was just saying that. That's my thing.
You were making me nervous. It's a very easy thing to make me nervous. Does the map have to be played? I guess we have multiple maps left.
Yeah. Yeah. Multiple maps are left. When 5 out of 6 of the maps have been played, then all the maps are up. So far, Nagrand Arena, Tiger's Peak, Ruins of Lordaeron, and Dalaran have been played. So what we have left are Blades Edge Arena or Tolvaran Arena. Yeah, that's it.
I imagine they're going to go with Tolvaran.
Yep, they chose Tolvaran. Here we go, boys. The last, or actually, maybe not the last, potentially the last.
Potentially the last
game of tonight is going to be on Tolvaran Arena. I mean, this RMD is up against the ropes here. They have to win 3 in a row to take the finals, and that would be an amazing upset. But one more loss, and it's over, and they have 2nd place. Here we go. Tolvaran Arena.
Still think it'd be a pretty big upset if they do manage to pull it off. Rosita and Khryl and Elite seem to be in a pretty dominating position. If they do end up winning, I think that means that they went 7-1 overall.
Yep.
Against Unafraid's team, so that's a pretty sick score.
Yeah.
The only team they ended up losing to in this entire tournament, they ended up 3-0ing after, so...
Oh, yeah. Holy.
It's interesting how that works. And again, the AoE concealment coming out from Unafraid. He's going to want to try and find a better sap target. Blizzard's coming out. Drifting's going to go into stealth now as well with the invis. Looking for a target. Mines here onto the water elemental once again from Khryl, trying to pull these players out of stealth. Just not getting lucky. Driftkingz walks right onto the water elemental. Is going to get pulled out of stealth. Taz and Unafraid in the back line. Driftkingz spamming out some polys. He does get the counter spell out of the way fairly early. He's going to be generating those icicles as the kidney shot gets put onto Khryl. He's going to trinket, throw the fear onto Unafraid, silence onto Driftkingz, deep onto Taz. 3v1 onto Driftkingz. Rosita lands the full ring as well. Driftkingz got to be careful. 30% HP. He's going to blazing speed out of line of sight. Taz is in bear form. He won't be able to get the repoly off of it. Rosita's desperately spamming for it. He could just go down here. 10%. No block Driftkingz, man. No block Driftkingz. Gonna be 4-1 for Mage's Mog is fabulous. And that Mage, of course, is Rositajonez.
Khryl got a lot of instant procs there that ended up killing him. He was lining, trying to avoid. I mean, Rositajonez couldn't connect to him, but Khryl just spamming out the instants over and over. And I believe Taz actually NS'd his corpse. So that might have actually been a situation where Taz was saying, don't block Driftkingz, because that can happen sometimes. So
there it is. So, congratulations to our Mages. Transmog is fabulous. They took the whole tournament, and they are GCD TV's tournament number 11 champions. Congratulations, guys. So, we're going to be doing our patented GCD TV. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Excuse me. But we have an interview with the winners coming up next, guys, so stay tuned for that. We also have our patented GCD TV bomb as well, so make sure to stay tuned, guys. It's not completely over just yet. And don't forget, tomorrow we do have the finals to our very first EU tournament at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central European time tomorrow. So make sure to come back and stay tuned for that. We're going to be playing an ad real quick before the interview, so make sure to turn ad block off, guys, and we'll be right back. everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that. We are back. I really do appreciate everyone who goes out and turns that ad block off for us. It does help us dramatically, a lot more than you might think, when enough of you guys have that ad block off. But Clutter is now going to provide us with a wonderful interview with Joey. I believe this is Rositajonez on team.
Yes.
Our Mage's Mog is fabulous. So here we go.
Hi, Joey. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
Congratulations on your win. How you feeling?
A little tired because we played a lot of games, but you know.
Yeah, those are some intense games. So how did you guys practice for the tournament?
We've been playing ladder together for like a long time, like the last month or so. And
Cool.
Yeah, we just queue ladder and stuff.
What did you guys change up going against Super T's fan club, the Mage's team? You guys lost them and got booted down to the lower bracket. What did you guys change up to be able to defeat them?
Well, we thought about how we lost and like why we were losing, and it was because the Druid was sitting on top of us the entire game and cloning us. So we just decided that even if we can't get a kill on him, it's better to just attack him and just like make him run away the entire game. And yeah, I don't know. We just played it a lot better, I guess. We were more motivated, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I have a question. Are you going to BlizzCon?
Well, yeah, I haven't bought my ticket, but I'm gonna probably get a ticket later on. And yeah, I'm definitely going now.
Cool,
awesome. Me and Dmachine will hopefully see you there then.
Oh, cool.
Do you have any shout-outs? I know you stream, or I've seen you stream before.
Shout-outs. There'd be too many people to shout out, so you know,
Okay.
you can follow my stream if you want to. Twitch.tv/Rositajonez.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Congratulations, and we hope to see you in future tournaments.
Thanks.
Congrats, man. You played like a god. GG's. Later, buddy. I hope to see you
Thanks.
at BlizzCon, man.
I'll definitely be there. Bye.
Bye.
Later, man. Alright, so that is going to conclude tournament number 11. That was the one and only Rositajonez that you just heard right there. Definitely go ahead and check out his stream. But now we're going to do our patented GCD TV bomb. I'm not necessarily sure who we're bombing, but we're going to do it.